Well, welcome back to another episode of Buffalo Happy Hour. Mike, what's going on?
Derek, we have another fun-filled week planned. There's a bunch of things that we have to start off with, though. So let me grab my phone, because this is going to be long-winded. So get warm. Even though it's 40 outside, it's not 40 in here.
Yeah, it is. We're fine.
It says 86 when it's 12. It's fine.
It's not 12. It's got to be like 52.
It's got to be 52. I agree with you. Okay, so we'll start with our sponsors and our ad reads. So, Addies, thank you for being a continued partnership. Your logo is on the bottom. Appreciate you. Moving on, Queen City Creative Works is our other sponsor for today's episode, and we thank them for their continued sponsorship. Queen City Creative Works is a family-ran business located in Cheektowaga where they brand items, and they do great work. They're essentially a better Etsy shop. So people always ask, what are they? Like, how could you kind of materialize or summarize what they are as a business? One way is to say it's like Etsy. They just do custom items as well as custom t-shirts and things like that. So they have a lot of equipment. They work very hard, and they do great work. And in that, we have an announcement as a part of our new section called our housekeeping section. So to start every weekly episode, we're just going to kind of give you guys quick updates while you're all here and you didn't give up on us yet. So we'll start with Queen City Creative Works, since it's a good segue, since we just knocked out the ad read for them. We have a partnership with Queen City Creative Works where they have their own website, spelled out queencitycreativeworks.com. In that, you can scroll down and select Buffalo Happy Hour. It's got its own tab, basically, that you can then select, and then you can choose 3 items to purchase. All items are in, all items are branded, and all items are now available for purchase on their website. In that, they can then ship those items to you wherever you are in the country and the world through USPS. So we have all 3 items available to show you so that you guys understand what's happening. The first item is this bottle opener that is straight metal, and it's got a silicone center. It's got our logo on both sides, branded. They are blue silicone, and then our logo's white. There's 2 sides to this bottle opener, and this is the same bottle opener that you'll see used in bars and restaurants. It's a speed bar opener, basically. Mm-hmm. One side is to open bottles, and the other side, that's just a straight normal circle, is to reach into coolers and grab bottles out so that you're not holding it with your hands. So this allows you 2 different courses of action to use when you're bartending. So it's awesome. We're excited for it, and this is $7 cheaper than what you will find on Etsy, which is awesome, and that doesn't include shipping. So that is option 1.
That goes for $12.99 for everybody wondering.
$12.99. Next is this water bottle with our logo branded on it as well. This water bottle is like stainless steel. It's super durable. It's intense. This loop on the back end that you can hook up any like...
You can hook up to any climbing hook or anything on your backpack to help you carry it around.
Yep. And it's got a built-in straw so that you can lift this tab and drink out of it, and you're all set. And then it's going to keep temperature for you. It's a screw-off, and it's all attached to one. So this is the water bottle that's super intense and durable with our logo lasered into it.
Lasered.
These are also dark blue.
Yep. And the price on these are $24.99.
Our last item is a 4-pack of coasters. So you'll get 4 of these per pack. It's a Slate Coaster. It's literal slate. So it's black, and then our logo is engraved into it, and our logo is white. And a 4-pack is
$14.99.
And then it's got the rubber grommets on the bottom as well, so that you're not scraping.
Super nice rubber grommets too. It's not those cheap ones that are like felt that come off all the time.
Yeah, no, these are
these are super hardcore,
super intense, and actually really thick.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of standoff, so that you won't have any like sweat rings or anything. And these are circle in nature as well. And then the outer edge is the raw slate, so it's not smooth. It's got a little bit of a jaggedness to it, but it's not going to cut you. As you can see here, it's not opening my skin, so you're all set and good to go there. And they're quiet. So
Oh, yeah.
those are the coasters.
You can go to queencitycreativeworks.com, and we have our own tab, so you can look up Buffalo Happy Hour. It's going to be available. It is available now. Our patrons are the first one that know about it. So if you want to be a part of the first to know, you can go to patreon.com/Buffalo Happy Hour. But you go to queencitycreativeworks.com. It is under our tab, and you can buy these 3. And we're going to keep pushing these 3 out because these are the staples that we wanted to start with. We might grow a little more depending on how the reception is of these. We might include different products. So get these, but let us know in the future what you would like for us to potentially do in the future, because we can start brainstorming now to come up with some cool ideas soon.
Yes, and we already know glassware. That's been recommended before. That is an equipment thing, and it is difficult to engrave on glass. So just keep that in mind. We are working on that. So is Queen City Creative Works. We are doing everything we can. However, think of other options like tumblers and things like that, and we'll go from there. Next, housekeeping piece. We have our sweaters on sale that are going, a portion of all proceeds are going to Weedy. Weedy is a local nonprofit, 501c3. And they help all Western New York residents with their small business startups, and they do a lot of good work in the city. So they are located on Niagara Street. They opened up a brand new facility. Nice. So we are going to have them on our show so you can hear more about Weedy. Personally, I've been involved in a couple Weedy events already in my life. They're awesome. Back when Resurgence was on their old location on Niagara Street before they opened on 55 Chicago. And it's exciting. They do a lot of good things for a lot of people that are just trying to figure out the American dream. So our sweaters are available. Just let us know, message us, DM us. They're $50. We will send you an invoice, and then you can pay that invoice with your card, and then you will get all the receipts, all the notifications, and we will ship it out when they are ready and available. And our sizes range from small to extra large. Of course, global supply chain issues also impact us because we are a small business, so we are dealing with that. We are dealing with inventory shortages, color stock shortages in regards to what we were able to choose, but they are a drop sweater, military green sweater, and very soft material that lasts. So
$50. That includes tax.
Yeah. So and donation. So those are the sweaters. Next housekeeping piece. Shout out to Megafan's dog Precious. Cheers. Here's to cheers. Cheers to a speedy recovery. Precious had a cancerous tumor removed.
Oh Jesus.
And Precious is a doll. She's stayed at my house and made the trip from downstate Long Island all the way up to Buffalo. So, Precious, we love you. You're a sweetheart. And cheers.
Speedy recovery.
Got to make love for the fam, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Final piece. I've been getting a lot of messages since we've been doing our Google searches live on episodes. So we have our own disclaimer. Our disclaimer for the weekly episodes is as follows. This is to everyone who listens, no matter where you are in the world. If you watch us on YouTube, if you listen to us on a platform, it's all the same. Please, for the love of God, do not take us seriously. We are not that educated, although we went to college and finished our undergrads. Derek and I both have bachelor degrees. It does not mean that we are qualified. We are not experts. We are not researchers. We are not scientists. We research mid-conversation for comedic relief, specifically because of the fact that we don't know anything.
Correct.
So we have no qualifications, and the point is to learn on the show and to have a good time hanging out every week. Derek and I, this is our time together. We just give you the privilege of experiencing what happens when Derek and I hang out.
That sounds so pompous.
No.
This is your pleasure.
It is. It is. We let you in on our ridiculous conversations. It's a treat for you, and it's self-incriminating for us, and Correct. That is how this goes.
You can look back and watch this when we're canceled in a year because we got something super wrong.
Yeah. So we're not priests, we're not historians, we're not mythical researchers. We don't dive into things off air because we're TV show hosts, and that's what we get paid to do. Okay, we're not the hosts of, say, like Expedition Unknown. Hashtag not a sponsor. So please don't take us seriously. You will not see us on Jeopardy anytime soon. This is all a joke, and that is why we do what we do on our weekly episodes. So don't get mad. It's supposed to be hilarious.
But the Friday episodes are a different story. Because the Friday episodes, you and I take more of a professional approach, and we interview subject matter experts. So those you can take very seriously because they work in that line. But yeah, if we're talking about religion and before Christ and after death, don't listen to us. We don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah,
but we hope you guys are laughing with us because, I mean, we're laughing.
Yeah, we're having a good time over here, all right? So we love all of our fans. We love all of our listeners. We love everyone that is a part of our Buffalo Happy Hour crew, our Patreons, and our audience. However, just wanted to set the record straight. So this brings us to our useless fact, Derek.
All useless facts are true. Also, all this information is coming from Google. We don't know how trustworthy they are.
Now,
DuckDuckGo. But we still don't know how trustworthy they are.
Metallica is the only band to have played on all 7 continents, including Antarctica.
Where did they play in Antarctica?
Is today's useless fact. Let me pull back out my phone.
I don't even know if there was civilization in Antarctica.
I know there's research facilities and hubs, right?
See, that's why you don't listen to us. I don't even know, I knew that there was a continent, obviously, but I didn't know if there was, actual... Is there an amphitheater in Antarctica?
Where did...
That kind of sounds like a place that they would have to play, though.
Metallica perform...
Metallica in Antarctica. Oh, dear.
Antarctica. Let's see what comes up. They played in a dome.
There's a dome in Antarctica?
Apparently. It was the most unique show Metallica has ever done. This is per RollingStone.com, who did an article about it, so it's fine, but it's also a Guinness World Record. So...
What do you mean?
That they've played on all continents.
Oh, okay.
It's a Guinness World Record. So let's see.
How many people were in attendance?
Let's see. I'm trying to find all the answers for you. Okay, so there was a base, Carlini. So Antarctica this weekend had a show called Freeze 'Em All, and it's near the heliport of the Argentine Antarctic base, Carlini. The band played inside a small dome for an audience of 120 people. The tiny crowd included scientists from around the world as well as the winners of a contest sponsored by Coca-Cola Zero for fans in Latin America. In order to meet international Antarctic protocol to preserve the fragile local environment, Metallica played the whole show with no amps. The sound was instead transmitted to the audience through headphones. The show was also live streamed and filmed for later release. It was the most unique show they've ever done, the band wrote on its Facebook page. The band, contest winners, research station scientists from Russia, South Korea, China, Poland, Chile, Brazil, and Germany, and the ship crew all crammed into this little dome out on the helipad on Carlini Station in Antarctica. The energy in the little dome was amazing. Words cannot describe how happy everyone was. So,
why does bass and everything, or plugging your instruments in, deteriorate because of electricity?
Way above me.
Or sound waves? Do sound waves hurt the environment? They're waves.
All I know is
they're waves, bro.
Yeah, all I know is that I ride the wave every day. For those that don't know, I have a wave tattoo while I was in Australia on my right pec. So now you know a little fun fact about co-host Michael.
Why did Coca-Cola sponsor this?
Who knows? Probably because they got too much money to spend.
Yeah, they're talking about we want to conserve Antarctica. Coca-Cola for sure.
Right.
We used to have Coke in our product. That's a real fact. Believe that.
Believe that. So that actually brings us into other things that we should apparently believe. What's up with this lawsuit in the NFL?
I know. It's wild. It broke 3 minutes before we started recording.
Okay, so...
I got the tweets that started it all. So hold on 1 second. Let me redo those tweets.
So the former Bill and now Giants GM...
Head coach.
No.
GM.
No, the GM. So the Giants GM. So our assistant GM, when he was a Bill, made a mistake and let the cat out of the bag that he was hiring Dable, and Belichick innocently tipped off Flores. Is that what you?
Yeah. So Alex Wiepren, I'm not 100% sure what he does, but it was retweeted by Sal Capaccio, which is why I got this notification as soon as he retweeted it. So his tweet says, "Oh, wow. Brian Flores suing the NFL and the New York Giants, alleging racism in hiring, includes private text from Bill Belichick. Flores says that Stephen Ross, the owner of the Miami Dolphins, offered to pay him $1,000 for every loss during the 2019 season to help the team get a better draft spot. Was mad when they kept winning. Flores' suit includes texts from Bill Belichick that appear to show him congratulating him on getting the Giants job, mistakenly believing he was texting Brian Dable. This was before Flores' interview with the Giants took place." So Belichick texted Flores saying congratulations on the interview, thinking he was texting Brian Dable, and that tipped Brian Flores off by saying, "I'm interviewing for a job that I'm not going to get." In fairness, though, there's people that do that all the time. You are like wanting to bring in a candidate already, but you have to interview somebody else. That's why I don't understand this whole requirement, which is what I wanted to talk to you about. Why, if you know you're bringing in somebody, why do you have to interview X number of people or X number of diversity people? It doesn't make any sense. That's causing all of this.
Yeah.
If you're required, so
it's a fine line because there's a reason why the rule exists in the first place.
Right.
And obviously it's racial in nature, obviously, and it's a very fine line. And I mean, listen, I'll be the first to say this is going to be difficult for us to navigate from our standpoints with our butts in these seats because we're two white dudes talking about the fact that minorities, blacks specifically, were not able to get hired because they were never interviewed because whites were always being hired. And it's 2022, so I mean, we have to be upfront that we're two white dudes talking about a topic where we've never played in the NFL, we've never served in the NFL in any capacity. We're only fans.
We don't have only fans.
Yeah,
we're just
we
fans.
Listen, I don't have an only fans. We're only fans of the NFL. Correct. Subcategory of Patreons. But so in all of that, right? Like, obviously, we're not necessarily qualified to speak on behalf of black people. Trust, like that's obvious. I agree with you. It is difficult, especially like in the situation with the Bills. They wanted Dorsey to be the OC,
right? Because
he's not an outsider. He's in the system. He understands the natural progression for Allen and our offense with the pieces that we have in play, because he was in the conversations with the current OC, now the past OC, in all the meeting rooms and having those conversations, so he actually already understands what's happening.
Yeah, and he was promoted to passing coordinator last year when they thought Brian Dable was going to leave. So in this particular instance, it's very interesting because everybody knew Dorsey was going to be that offensive coordinator. The only thing that would have thrown a wrench in it is if Dable stole him from us.
And to be fair, I believe, now this is just my belief and my opinion, say Dorsey's black, that black Dorsey hypothetically would have gotten the position anyways, because that's what they wanted to do as an organization, is promote from within. So it didn't come down to race. It came down to the fact that the individual, who in this case happens to be Dorsey, understands A, B, and C. Right. They don't want an outsider to come in and potentially mess up A, B, and C, specifically because of the fact that our offense has already been clicking, people already bought in, players standpoint-wise, and it's just a natural progression to promote from within, which is a good move by any organization, period. So it sucks that, I mean, how do you mess that up if you're Belichick?
Right.
Like, I mean, hello. But secondly, Flores has every right to be pissed, you know? Like, it is kind of a slap in the face of, you're only bringing me in because I'm black. I mean, you're wasting my time.
But isn't that a fault of the NFL? If you put a requirement in place with the Rooney Rule where you have to interview a minority candidate for every single job,
sure,
then you're getting these situations where we're bringing in somebody because we already know that we want this person. Mm-hmm. In Dorsey's case, you knew that we wanted to bring him in, but you're forcing us as an organization to bring in the offensive coordinator from Baltimore, the whoever the other one was, just to fulfill this requirement so we can hire him. Like, you're forming this whole culture where now, instead of it being, like, organic, now everyone's like, oh, it's because of the Rooney Rule. Like, it's fostering that.
Right. I mean, yeah, correct. It's not a wrong viewpoint. So run me through it again. Who's the dude that told Belichick? Is that what it was?
So I don't know who told Belichick. I'm keeping an eye on Twitter to see if anything else comes out. The NFL actually just released a statement. Hold on. So the NFL just released a statement. The NFL and our clubs are deeply committed to ensuring equitable employment practices and continue to make progress in providing equitable opportunities throughout the organization. Diversity is core to everything we do, and there are a few issues on which our club and our internal leadership spend more time. We will defend against these claims, which are without merit. So...
I mean, what's without merit? There's literally NFL employees talking about hiring within the NFL. So what does that even mean?
Yeah.
Like, obviously it happened.
So let me ask you a question.
Uh-huh.
You are the Bills' assistant GM. You go to an new organization.
Yeah.
You know that Brian Daboll could be an amazing head coach. Why would you hire somebody else? Like, what? I understand John Schoen. Is that his name? Schoen?
I believe so.
The newest GM of the Giants. I understand where he wants familiarity. Like, it's the same thing with bringing Dorsey in as the offensive coordinator. You're going to a new team, and you're going to bring your offensive coordinator with you. So this whole aspect of he only hired him because he's white, and he didn't even give me an interview because I'm black. It's like he wants that continuity to go to this new team where he's starting brand new as a new GM. That's got to be stressful. It has nothing to do with race.
Yeah, in this instance, I really don't believe that this has anything to do without race. Or, I'm sorry, has anything to do with race. So, I mean, it's just a really bad situation all over the place. So, I mean, what do? You settle out and then just be like, look, it's unintentional that our own rule kind of bit us in the rear? Like, grand scheme of things, how does the NFL get over this or move on from this?
Yeah,
because the lawsuit's filed.
Yeah, lawsuit's already filed. Flores, I mean, I give him credit for doing this because he's not going to be another head coach. He's not going to have another chance in the NFL. No one's going to bring him in.
And the other wild thing that I read to you as well that I wanted to talk about was what hit 10 minutes before we started recording.
Yeah.
About Daboll wanting to leave the Bills to get away from McDermott. In a text exchange that was right before the Chiefs game on January 11th, there's a text thread between Mr. McDonald suggesting that if Flores were hired as the Giants head coach, Brian Daboll might be interested in leaving Buffalo to serve as his offensive coordinator. And in parentheses, he heard Daboll isn't happy with Sean McDermott in Buffalo. Might be able to get out if he doesn't get a head coaching job. Thoughts, ? So there's a lot to this. Like, was Daboll unhappy with McDermott? Was McDermott trying to push the run game when Daboll wanted to push the passing game? Was it vice versa? And did the head coaching position shift and impact things, which then impacted Flores, which then led to a lawsuit? I mean, there's a lot. The web is deep on this.
And the other thing, too, is that's important is you said in parentheses says he's not happy. Like, that could be anything.
Right.
That could be the last game he wanted one play different, and he's like, I didn't like the way McDermott did this play, and everyone's like, oh, he's not happy with him.
Yeah.
So until we get more information on that, I don't ever hear anything bad about McDermott. Ever. Like, not saying that I even would, but there's coaches that you hear bad things about.
From a fan's perspective or from the NFL's perspective?
Both.
With employees?
Both.
I've heard negative fan reactions to McDermott and his handling on different scenarios and things within games.
Yeah.
Okay. But
like,
other than
as
that,
a character, like, I don't know how you can have a beef with him. I mean, granted, I don't know him on a personal level, but I've never heard players react to him. Like, players that left and came back, like, there's no player that's talked bad about him.
Yeah.
There's no coach or anyone that's talked bad about him. So I'm not sure where this could even come from.
Right.
But even that aspect, like Daboll said, if that is true, that he'd leave to work under Flores. Like, it's not a race thing. I don't know why people are so quick to make everything a race thing.
Agreed.
Again, we're not qualified for this discussion. It just baffles me that this is where we are. It's just like, dude, maybe you just didn't get the job because you weren't good. Like, you weren't a good head coach. Like, you got fired from Miami for being their head coach. You really want to think that you want to bring someone else, like, give him another shot on a new team with a new GM who's rebuilding. You got fired from Miami, and now, I'm a new GM. My best path forward would to bring in a failed coach that was just fired from a different team. I just don't understand how people can connect those dots.
I don't either. But I'm sure somebody is.
Yeah. I just hope Frazier gets a coaching job, but he probably won't. Not because he's black. I'm just saying.
I don't see him not getting hired, though. There's like 9 vacancies, dude. It's disgusting.
True. Everyone's leaving. And now quarterbacks are leaving, too. Like, everything's going up in the air.
You know, there's only one returning offensive coordinator in the entire AFC next year.
Really?
Yeah.
Who?
I forgot. I heard it on One Bills Live today. It was a stat that they came out with because everybody either went to a different team or got promoted.
Interesting.
It's fascinating. But I don't know. I was doing 3 things at once because that's how our day works until 5 when we sit down to record. So this is what we do.
Damn it.
Damn it. I had a cheat meal the other day.
Did you?
Wanted to tell you about it.
Why do you do cheat meals?
My sanity and my soul.
Why don't you just live a different life?
What do you mean live a different life? I have a Cal salad 6 days a week.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but maybe don't do a Cal salad every day and just, like, do something different and then be able to, time?
It's so easy for me to just eat a salad during the day, and I don't care. I'm okay with eating the same thing every day, and it helps Colleen because she's the one meal prepping. Credit to Colleen. You know, I got one of the greatest wives to ever exist in the history of the world.
That's nice.
It's the truth. So it's nothing for me to just eat a salad. I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, I do the same thing.
But my cheat meal, I got a full cheeseburger sub.
Nice.
On the cheeseburger sub, I got lettuce, tomato, no onion. I shy away from onion when I eat because I'm very paranoid because I talk to people. So it's like, I mean, dude, every time I'm always chewing gum. Always chewing gum. I just need gum. It's one of those things. So, foot long sub. I don't know. If you go to a pizzeria, is it a foot long?
I say foot long all the time, and they're like, so a full? I'm like, yeah, full sub. Like,
I'm going to measure it.
There's no discrepancy. When I say foot long, I'm not like,
what I mean.
They're like half. I'm like, oh, yeah, half, definitely. It's like, no, I want the full friggin' thing.
Yeah, I want to measure it.
It's Subway, dude. That's why. Subway's marketing changed everything.
Correct.
It's like $5 foot long. It's like, shut up. Your bread is sugar, technically. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, it's a
From
joke.
British?
Yeah, they tested
yeah.
it.
They're like, we can no longer consider this
bread
because of the sugar content. This is technically classified as candy in Britain. I'm like, that's great.
Yep.
Because I've been eating it like crazy.
So, cheeseburger sub, a full cheeseburger sub.
Foot long cheeseburger sub.
Yeah. Lettuce, tomato.
Okay.
And then I went blue cheese and hot sauce.
Ooh, nice.
And
Solid.
it was like
Where was it from?
Maybach's around the corner
Okay.
from my house. No free shout-outs. So needed. And then you know what I did on the side? Again, cheat meal.
Sleep. Insulin.
Tater tots.
Nice.
Same thing. Pepper, blue cheese and hot sauce in a bowl. Stirred it. Flipped them. Everything got an even coating. Devoured. And I felt great until I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning with massive stomach pains. Had to get out of bed, go to the bathroom, and then climb back into bed. And I was like tired from that.
Were you,
You know?
was your mouth like super dry because of all the salt that you weren't used to?
No,
Whenever I have
surprisingly.
pizza, that's what kills me. Is like the next morning I'll wake up and I can't like close my mouth. It's dry.
See, I don't have that issue with pizza. I have that
the
issue
Sahara.
with wings.
Oh, okay.
Wings crush me where I'm like, oh, goodness. Yeah, it's like I ate a bucket of sand.
Yeah.
It's like, what is happening here?
So what made you go get a cheat meal? Just because you were like, I'm sick of this week?
It's been a long time since I had that.
So what do you classify as a cheat meal, though?
Like, straight up trash. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
So like if you went out for dinner for a cheeseburger or a burger or even like something like that, you wouldn't consider that a cheat meal, right? A cheat meal is like I'm gonna order in, I'm gonna destroy my life
yeah.
for the next 12 to 6 hours.
Right. Yeah,
If
well,
that makes sense.
6
12
to 12,
16 hours.
just
There
like
we go, nailed it. So that's considered a cheat meal for you?
Kind of, yeah. Because I can go to a restaurant and get like a turkey bacon club.
Yeah, or like a grilled chicken sandwich. That's my favorite thing to get at a restaurant.
Right. But it's rare that we eat out.
Do you consider beer like part of a cheat meal? You don't really like beer in general, though.
Correct. I really don't drink beer. But yeah, it's a treat. Yeah. I classify having a beer the same thing with drinking pop when I was a kid.
Uh-huh. Yeah, pop's the new
soda
beer.
for people outside of Western New York. But yeah, it's...
or beer's the new pop. Dyslexic again, man. What's going on with me?
You're all good.
Yeah.
I don't drink soda at all, especially now because it's just I have whiskey neat,
Yeah.
you know. And
When was the last time you had soda?
I probably made a mixed drink with it, like an old fashioned. Had a couple. Oh, like sat down and had a can of pop.
Or even like grabbed the 2-liter and filled it up.
It's been a long time, multiple months, and I had like room temp ginger ale when I had a stomach ache. That was it.
I feel like that doesn't count though. I mean, it does, but it doesn't.
Right.
That's like medicinal pop.
Otherwise, like years.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm thinking for me it has to be at least 3 years, maybe like 5.
It's just not. It's not even in my house.
Can you imagine even like drinking that now and how your mouth would feel? Do you remember drinking it before? First of all, super phlegmy. If you got it from McDonald's or some like sort of fountain pop, you were done.
Yeah.
Done for the day.
On draft.
Yeah, you're like
Yeah.
because it was just so phlegmy and you couldn't even breathe. And then if you get it from a 2-liter, you still felt like garbage the next day, or even like a little bit after. You're shot. Couldn't even imagine going back to pop.
No, there's too much, and then your teeth get that weird feeling because there's so much sugar involved. I just can't do it. I can't do it. So, but yeah, man.
That's cool though that you had that. So you felt bad in the morning. On Saturday morning, we were like, I'm a piece of shit. I deserve to die young. Did you feel like that, or were you like, all right, that's out of my system. I got to go to the gym in the next couple days, and I'll be good.
Yeah, I felt fine. I was like, all right, I got it on my system, so I'm good now.
How many calories do you think were in that sub and the tater tots? If you had to quantify.
We're well over a G.
Oh yeah,
no doubt about it. Probably 2,200. I mean, dude, it was gross. And it was so good. It tasted so good. And I didn't. And you know, I thought about it. I was like, well, I could save some for tomorrow. I'm like, no, I'm gonna be a dirtbag.
You don't do that.
I'm gonna be a dirtbag. And I want it hot. Like I just want it all right now. So I just sat there and watched TV, and I ate my sub, ate my tater tots, and I was like, well, you know, this is it. This is life.
So if you're on a health kick, or you do like a new lifestyle change, or whatever the people want to call it,
sure.
Do you justify eating more junk food the night before because you got to get it out of the house? Like that sub. Like you're like, I'm going to have this sub. I might as well eat the whole thing now because tomorrow I don't want to eat unhealthy. Like, do you have that same thought?
I've been there before, but in our house now, we just don't have it in our house.
But like that sub, was you finishing the second half of the sub like, I'm still hungry? Was it, I want to finish this now? Or was it, I don't want to eat it tomorrow because it's bad food and I want to be clean tomorrow? Like, what mentality were you in when you had that? This is a psychology episode.
The initial 2, I was just ready to crush it, man. I was juiced up. I was super excited for that freaking sub, you know. And when I was buying, because I got pickup because I'm not useless.
Right.
So I went and picked it up, and they had a cooler next to the register full of cheesecake and brownies, and I was like, I could do it, but I didn't. And then you know what I did instead? A couple days go by after the sub, and then I spent all day baking and making food and working around my house and cleaning and getting organized for the week. So I made a cast iron skillet pizza, which was great. So Saturday I made the dough from scratch, and the dough was super simple. It was just flour, fast-rising yeast, and water, and it was a very hydrated dough, so it was super sticky but easy to play with. Put it in a...
That's what she said.
Pause. Made the dough and put it in a 7-inch cake pan, saran wrap, threw it in the fridge, let it sit in the fridge for about 15 hours, pulled it out, room temp, 30 minutes in room temp, pulled it out of the pan, and then prepped it a little more inside of the cast iron skillet that I was then going to bake it in. It sat in the cast iron skillet for an hour and a half, and it was kind of like a second proof, essentially. And then that was sitting in, when I put it in the cast iron pan, it was sitting in olive oil inside of the pan. And then I put the sauce and the 2 different cheeses. So I made a cheese crust wall around the cast iron skillet. So I pushed the dough out to about 8 out of the 9 inches, and then I put shredded fresh. It was a Monterey Jack cheese. Shredded that, and then I sprinkled that around the entire edge.
Nice.
Then I put in my sauce, and then I put fresh mozzarella over the top of that, and then I put pepperoni on that. Threw it in the oven for, I think it was 30 minutes at 400 degrees, and 25, 30 minutes, pulled it out, and then I finished it on the stovetop. And when I finished it on the stovetop, I got the actual very bottom of the pizza to brown and then finish cooking, because otherwise it was just kind of like white, and it was baked, but I wanted to finish the crust and make it real crispy. And then let it rest for 10 minutes, and I cut it. And the trick when you use a pizza cutter is to start in the middle of the pizza and work your way out. You don't work from the outside in.
Yeah, people make that mistake all the time.
Correct. So,
Rookies.
Yep. So I cut it correctly, put it on a little platter, and then I said, Colleen, here's your lunch. And then it was ready by 1 o'clock on Sunday. So that was awesome. And then once I was done with the pizza, I transitioned into cinnamon buns, and then I made a fresh batch of cinnamon buns and brought them to work for select people to enjoy at work. And they were just like, dude.
So it was a cheat couple days.
I had one cinnamon bun.
You had the pizza, though.
Well, the pizza was fresh, and it was fresh ingredients. But, yeah, it's all good. And, it was a 9-inch pizza.
Yeah.
Split between 2 people. We each have 3 slices, and it's a slice. I mean, it's
Right.
nothing crazy. It's little triangles. I mean, realistically, I could have had the entire thing myself.
Absolutely.
That would have been a cheat meal, but I split it with Colleen. She was happy. So it was fun. I love baking, and the cinnamon buns take 4 hours. Dude, it's exhausting, but it's all good. So it's 4 cups of flour.
It's wild.
It's a lot.
Used a lot of flour that day.
Sure did. Yeah, that weekend went through a lot of flour, but it's good. We got enough. So I'm excited, man. It's people liked it. People at work thought that the cinnamon buns were awesome, super dense, obviously, because they're real thick. They're thick boys. And then I made icing from scratch as well to go over the top. So it was good.
Cool.
It's exciting.
Love it.
That's my weekly recap.
Love that. We've talked about this before, but like feeling better after you eat healthy and feeling like garbage after you eat unhealthy. Mm-hmm. It boggles my mind that people still go to McDonald's. But like, I remember when we interviewed Buffalo dietitian not too long ago. We're going to have another dietitian coming on soon, so if you're excited about that, make sure you subscribe. But when we interviewed her, I asked her the question of, does your body ever get used to unhealthy food? Because to me, I feel like it has to.
It does.
And like, could it ever be unhealthy to like go cold turkey on unhealthy food?
Have you ever had the adverse reaction to specifically answer your question, it's always beneficial to eat healthy because then your body can adapt, but it's going to, it's very similar to smoking. Like you're going to have initial benefits
opioids.
Immediately. Right. Have you ever consumed food that was so clean for so long that when you ate clean, but at a restaurant, you could taste the issues? So for those that are not aware, I went strict for a 30-day program. That 30-day program consisted of me making every single meal from scratch. And I was working out. This was 2012. So times were different. I didn't have my own house. I didn't have my own apartment. I was living at home. I was working 2 part-time jobs while going to school, college at that point. So all I did was eat, sleep, work, and lift. I ended up, after those 30 days, losing a good amount of body fat, and my health was just insane. My cardio was through the roof. I was feeling incredible. My mind was working faster. My mind clarity was there. I was very sharp. I went to a restaurant, and I got a baby spinach chicken salad with cucumbers, tomatoes, and pepper. I think they were red bell peppers. And I said, please provide dressing on the side. I'll take like a raspberry vinaigrette or a balsamic vinaigrette on the side, and then I'll just eat my salad. And she's like, okay. And I said, please, specifically, that's all I want in the salad dish. And she's like, okay, no problem. So they made it. And when I ate it, this was like day 32, and I could literally taste the butter inside of the brand new dish that was like stained from, because it was like it was like a Denny's type restaurant, and it was insane to me that I could pick that up. I was like, I can't even eat this. It tastes like butter. It tastes like the dish is coated in butter. And she's like, it just came out of the dishwasher. Like that's super clean. I was like, but it's not. And it blew my mind that I could pick that up. Then I had an M&M. Day 32, I had an M&M, and I couldn't even eat it. It was so sugary, it was inedible. And I was like, I can't. Like, what did I do?
That's not a good way to live, though, you know?
That's the issue. I was like, what did I do? Like, I literally feel like I ruined eating things that I grew up enjoying and loving. And that's when I made that distinction, and I drew that line in the sand and said, I'm never eliminating ice cream from my diet. And I can eliminate beer, I can eliminate other sweets, like etc. But ice cream I have to have, because I also have very close friends of mine that cut ice cream out. They're just like, nope, ice cream's got a ton of calories, I don't want it. And now they're lactose intolerant and they can't have dairy. And they went so strict for so long, their body adapted and flipped, and now they're just like stomach convulsing, and I'm just like, I don't want to live that life.
Doesn't that mean that you can do the reverse, though?
Probably.
Is like slowly get yourself back into dairy and then enjoy it and be able to stomach it again? I would assume that if one can happen, the other one can too.
Well, there's also vegetarians that can reintroduce meat into their diet.
Yeah.
I mean, there's multiple accounts of that.
Well, vegetarians is more of PETA, right? Where they don't like the cruelty of animals. It's not like they can stomach the animal. But even like gluten-free, like, what's the gluten-free thing?
It's a gluten intolerance.
Yeah, but what is it actually called?
It's
Says, start with an S.
Oh, I don't know. People are allergic to gluten.
Come on.
I'm sorry, you're
No,
yelling.
not you. I'm saying me. I gotta know that. I know this. It's celiacs. There we go. Nailed it.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Celiacs. It's when you have like some sort of body issue to gluten. It sucks. People can't even drink whiskey because whiskey has grains in it.
I know. Well, there's some gluten-free options in the spirit industry.
Well, spirit,
like
but not
vodka.
whiskey.
I know.
Whiskey.
Listen,
vodka's gross.
Vodka's not gross.
We are not the Russian. We don't drink vodka. Yeah, vodka is gross. Don't vouch for vodka. It's a flavorless spirit. The
Hold
only
on.
thing vodka does is make you drunk.
What'd you say, celiac?
Yeah.
All right, you're right. I looked it up.
Nailed it.
Because, again, we're not qualified people.
Yeah. Yes, we are. I got that right. We're qualified. But vodka is tasteless. There's nothing. Vodka should, by definition, vodka should not have flavor.
Right?
Now you got Pinnacle making like whipped vodka. It's like, that's gross. I don't want whipped cream vodka.
You never went to a party and had, like,
No, dude.
vodka sodas?
I mean, I did when I was younger.
Or vodka waters?
I went,
Flavored vodka water?
if my buddy Misha's out there, and Tom, both of them. We went for his girlfriend at the time birthday party. We rented a limo. We went out to JP's Fitzgerald's. That was our first mistake.
Oh, my rip.
I know. That's how I felt that night.
Yeah.
I
That
was
place
21.
is a dumpster fire.
But like that was my after college, just got a new job. That summer was a wash. That was a bad summer for me, like mentally. I was just like, I never partied in school, so I'm going to do it these next 2 days. Basically my lifestyle. So when on our party bus, I decided to fill a solo cup with vodka, Grey Goose vodka. Literally fill a solo cup.
This is why you hate vodka.
With vodka, yes. But it's also disgusting because it doesn't taste like anything. But I filled a solo cup with vodka, drank that the night because I don't like adding stuff to my vodka or any drink.
What are you, Russian?
Yeah. So I drank it straight from a solo cup filled. And then me and Misha were passed out in the bushes.
I love how you laugh at yourself.
Dude, that was the first, I've gotten drunk maybe like 3 times in my life where I was like inebriated. One was in Long Island with Tom.
Long Island.
Yeah, one was Misha's party bus, and the other one was in Atlanta with my family. I think that was the only 3 times that I got blackout drunk.
Yeah.
I've never done that before, but that night was so funny because I remember I was told, I was in JP's party and I was having a good time, dancing up, like, I haven't beatboxed on this in a while. So I was in there like partying it up. And then I heard from one of our friends, Misha's sleeping outside. I'm like, what? What's going on? It's like, Misha is outside. He is laying down. Can you go talk to him? I'm like, sure. So I go outside. I go into the parking lot. Hopefully, I'll beep his name out if he doesn't want me to say any of this. But I go outside in the parking lot, and I'm talking to him because he's laying down in the bush. And I'm sitting down on the parking lot, and I'm like, dude, you got to come inside. He's like, I don't want to. Like, you got to come inside. He's like, I don't want to. He's laying down. So I'm like, all right, I'll just lay down here in the parking lot. So I lay down in the parking lot, and both of us went to sleep.
You were supposed to bring him in.
So funny.
So who found you?
I think Tom did, and some other people came out because we were getting ready to leave, and they're like, where's Derek and Misha? And we're just sleeping in the parking lot. It was not a very good time in my life, but it was responsible because we were in a limo, didn't do anything crazy, and that was like seriously one of 3 times I've ever done that.
Have you ever thrown up on vodka?
That night.
Okay, so the only time I've thrown up on vodka was during a diplomatic dinner with officers of a foreign nation's army.
Perfect.
At a dinner in Far Eastern Europe. And I was not okay because they're large individuals with their BMIs, and every 4 seconds they do a shot of vodka while they eat as a cultural norm. So my linguist was outside holding me up by my coat as I violently eradicated everything that was in my stomach, and I was not having a good time. It was winter, and I was on someone's property because the house lot essentially backed up to the restaurant, and I was just heaving into their snowbank. So the linguist is just like holding me up. She's like, you'll be okay. I'm like, I'm definitely not okay. Yeah. So yeah, I, from that standpoint on, have never consumed vodka to that same extent. I have had flavored vodka waters at a party in a Yeti and with ice, and that's super good.
But like, the thing with vodka is it's just an avenue to get drunk. That's all it is, because it doesn't taste like anything.
But it's clean, dude.
Well, yeah, but you add it to flavors just to get drunk. Like, there's no other reason why you would consume vodka except to get drunk.
Well,
or to get buzzed.
Yeah.
Like, you can grab a glass of whiskey and be like, I like the taste of this. You can grab a glass of tequila and be like, I'm a sociopath, but I like the taste of this. Like, there's reasons why you do that. Vodka has no taste, and it's just to get me drunk, and I just can't do it. Not a vodka fan.
There's diehard vodka fans that will tell you that certain vodkas taste different than others, which they're not necessarily wrong either, but I do agree with you. It's very
gross.
It's very flat.
Yeah.
I like America's Spirit.
Oh, yeah.
For a multitude of reasons, especially because of the various differences between states. So, yeah, those are the fun-filled vodka stories.
I gotta ask, what's his face if I can tell that story?
I know, seriously. Well, at least just bleep his name.
So funny, yeah.
At least just bleep his name. That's no big deal.
Yeah. So, kind of got an update on the story.
What do we got?
So these are the complaints against the NFL by Brian Flores. What does Brian Flores claim? Regarding the Miami Dolphins, Flores gets offered $100,000 for every loss during the 2019 season so the team could tank. Dolphins owner Stephen Ross got mad at Flores for winning and compromising the team's draft position. We already knew that. Dolphins owner Stephen Ross pressured Flores to break tampering rules to recruit a prominent QB. Flores refused. Ross then invited Flores to a meeting at his yacht, where said prominent QB conveniently arrived without Flores knowing and trying to break tampering rules again. Flores immediately left. After that incident, Flores was defamed throughout the media as someone who is hard to work with, although he was just upholding his morals. He was fired for that exact reason. Regarding the New York Giants, the Giants interviewed Flores, although they've decided 3 days before the interview that they would hire Brian Daboll. The interview happened because the Giants had to interview a black candidate for the coaching job, although Flores never had a chance in the first place. Flores found out because Bill Belichick accidentally messaged Flores instead of Daboll to congratulate him. Which, what are you doing, Bill? You're old, just retired.
Right.
Regarding the Denver Broncos, so there's a Broncos thing too. 2019, Flores had an interview for the open head coaching spot at the Broncos. The Broncos' entourage, including GM John Elway, came late and looked completely disheveled. It was clear they had partied the night before the interview. Vic Fangio was hired shortly after. So this dude's basically saying every interview that he's been on, has been for the Rooney Rule reason.
I mean, would you rather get interviewed or not get interviewed?
Probably not get interviewed. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why that Rooney Rule just doesn't make sense to me. You're encouraging this.
I have a feeling that after this whole thing settles out, things will change in some way, shape, or form. There's going to be a response. I just don't know in what way.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know about this whole prominent QB thing.
I didn't either. And the whole Tank situation is very interesting, too. He paid him to lose.
Yeah, $100,000 per game if he lost.
And that's who paid him?
The GM.
Of
or the owner of the Dolphins.
The
GM
owner
or
of
the
the
owner. One of the two.
Because when he got fired, they were surprised, but then they...
Dolphins owner, Stephen Ross. So
the
his
owner.
Yeah.
So then they always said that the relationships is what led to his firing, which obviously now is not true because it's this. They're talking about paying him. I mean, it's basically the longest yard.
Well, yeah, they're saying to him, yeah, basically. They're saying the reason he was fired was because he was hard to work with.
Yeah.
Which he is if he's upholding his morals and everyone else is trash.
Right. So if anything, this should help Flores get hired somewhere.
Yeah.
The problem is the teams that are available to hire already want who they want
Right.
from their own organization standpoint and ideas and direction that they want to go in. It's going to be very weird. It's going to be, and of course, it's Super Bowl week.
Yeah. There's a lot of drama these past month. Pro Football Talk tweeted something, and he's like, "This has been our fourth highest click count on our Twitter since we started this past month because of Aaron Rodgers' vaccine, Tom Brady's retirement, Ben Roethlisberger's retirement, Antonio Brown's situation. Now this stuff going down. Like everybody, there's so much going on.
Yeah.
What's going to happen to the NFL? It's just going to keep going on. Just gonna be
Well,
like,
of course.
Right.
It'll all pass, and then, I mean, there'll probably be a 30 for 30 about it or whatever, but yeah, it's too big of, you can't topple it.
Yeah.
It's a huge sport. It's the same as MLS.
Are sports considered monopolies?
Good question. I would say no.
Why?
They're not considered monopolies, but they're understood, I'm sure, as a form of monopoly because, I mean, there's only one Premier League.
Right.
You know?
They're trying to start up another golf one. They're trying to start up another golf organization in parallel with the PGA Tour.
I mean, from what standpoint, though? Why? That's the thing. Like, these organizations have been around for too long that's, I mean, it's just the accepted societal thing about, okay, yeah, the best players go to the NFL. The best fighters go to the UFC.
Yeah.
The best golfers go to the PGA. The best hockey players go to the NHL. There's sub-leagues, there's some divisions. You got the MLB, you got the minors. I mean, but at the end of the day, everyone's trying to, play in the Premier League because if you look at any type of pyramid, it's the top. It's the top 1% of all athletes to ever play the game.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a bad kind of monopoly like Spectrum or Rockefeller's oil situation,
Yeah.
So
the basically around pay, that's what it is. Golf players get paid. Do you know how much money golf players get paid if they win? Why are they fighting about money? Dude, you're going around playing a sport you love every week. It's not like it is kind of taxing to your body, I guess, doing those motions over and over again. You see Tiger, breaking his back.
I mean, baseball players complain about money, too.
It's wild. So the top guys don't get enough money. Upstart League gives PGA Tours a reason to switch. Last week, Greg Norman was officially named the CEO of LIV Golf Investments, a Saudi Arabian-backed organization that will invest $20 million in... it just went away. And host 10 events on the Asian Tour beginning next year. Some of that money will go towards prize money, but perhaps even more will go towards appearance fees, which are not permitted on the PGA Tour. So I guess it's not a monopoly because you technically can start something, and there's no legal thing saying you can't, which is what a monopoly is.
Sure. Just like the XFL and Canadian Football League and everything else, except everyone knows, hey, this is where the views are. This is where the money is. Same with the NBA. You know, the WNBA exists. Nobody watches it.
And people get mad about that, but if nobody watches it, they're not going to pay more.
Because there's no ratings.
Exactly. People don't understand
comes from
that.
ratings.
Exactly, and sponsorships.
Yeah.
So if no one's watching it...
Yeah, it's nothing to do with gender.
Correct.
No one watches it. It's all relative. I'm sorry, but that's the real world. Like, if you want to change it, then watch it. And then have more people watch it. I don't know. I don't know.
I think disc golf is going on ESPN this year. Seriously.
Yeah.
It's a real sport now.
I mean...
It's a real sport now.
It's basically ESPN at the Ojo. It is.
It's cool, though. It's pretty sweet.
Sure. What are we at?
Let's wrap it up. It's 55 minutes.
Thanks for everyone sticking
Again,
through.
we are not experts.
No, but we appreciate all your input. There was some housekeeping things that we had to hit. Obviously, the useless fact, and then today's meat of the episode was just current news in the world with sports. But we will see you all next week for another fun-filled episode. And thank you to our sponsors between Addie's and Queen City Creative Works. We appreciate you all. And yeah, buy a sweater, buy some merchandise, support us. We will continue to support you. Patreons, obviously, thank you. And you're getting your own special shout-out yet again on the end screen. So let's keep it going. Derek, take us out.
Go follow us on Instagram at the official Buffalo Happy Hour, on Facebook at the Buffalo Happy Hour. We are on TikTok somewhat. We are on YouTube. Subscribe if you're listening. YouTube.com/Buffalo Happy Hour. If you want to join our Happy Hour crew, go to Patreon.com/Buffalo Happy Hour. You find out about all of our merch drops early, all of our work with Queen City Creative Works early. So if you want in on the coolest news ever and our episode a week early, go check that out. Patreon.com/Buffalo Happy Hour. Mike, appreciate your time today. We reviewed Wilderness Trail Straight Bourbon, bottled in bond, small batch bourbon. Bourbon. So that's our drink for today. Let us know what you drank during today's episode, and we always encourage you to drink responsibly. Be a good person. And Michael,
Do not litter.
we're out.